Hi there and welcome to the first part of our trance tutorial. In this section we're going to be looking at our vocals, then we're going to be um, creating some basic chords, building up our drums and bass and just getting our backing, the main sections of our backing sort of working behind our vocals. And we're going to start off with the vocals. I know normally we start off with drums, but I thought this would be interesting to just get our vocals sort of set and we can build the track around that. The vocals are probably one of the most important elements of the track, and we want sort of to construct our track around it. It's almost like a remix. And I did a session yesterday with Penny Nixon, also known as Shanachie, and she has done loads of really good trance stuff and also sort of some of her own singer-songwriter type stuff. And she was the girl who sang on Coast to Coast Home. So we had a good session yesterday, and we came up with, well, Penny came up with these vocals. We used pretty basic chords. We played around with just sort of individual minor notes, and we found that D minor seemed to suit her vocal range quite well. So we used a sort of basic D minor chord, and we had a couple of different chord changes in there on the chorus, but the verse was pretty much straight. So we'll load the two audio files in, and we can have a look through them and see what we need to do to make them sound better. You'll notice when we import them, Ableton's trying to warp them up and match them up to the BPM of the track, but we know what the BPM of the vocals are. We recorded them in a 140 BPM session, so we know that that's what they need to be at. And to get them to that, we right click on the start point of the audio file, and we want to warp 140 BPM from here. And we can do that because we have our tempo of our project set to 140. And what that does is instantly tell Ableton that the clip we want is set at 140 and it's a straight file, so it doesn't need to have any sort of warp markers put in. So we can do that with both files. And with this one we'll need to move it on a bit and try that again. We'll just put a click on and make sure that that one's imported in properly.
Love is a hurricane.
Okay, so that seems matched up, and we'll try the first one as well.
Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. Don't wake.
And that doesn't seem to be 100% in.
Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. Don't.
So we'll try moving it a bit.
Don't wake. Don't. Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. I wanna stay so far away.
Okay, so that sounds like it's in time there. So the next thing we want to do with our vocals is just clear up any of the space in between. And I'll let you have a quick playthrough of the vocals, and you'll hear there's some sort of bits of talking in between, maybe the odd sort of unwanted breath. And we can clean them up either by using a gate, or we can go in manually. And I'll sort of explain to you the benefits of using both techniques. So we'll go through and have a listen to these vocals.
Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. I wanna stay so far away. If the morning comes too early, don't call me back too soon. Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. I wanna stay so far away. If the morning comes too early, don't call me back too soon.
So the verses are pretty clean, and there's not much to do. But what will happen when we start to sort of compress the vocals and bring them up is that the noise floor in between the vocals will start to be raised, and that will start to become noticeable. And what I'll actually do, I'll show you the setup that we used, and it's not a very expensive setup. We're using the Rode M3, and this is the same mic that I use for my tutorials that I'm using now. And we're also using an SE Electronics Reflection filter, and these are a couple of £100, but there's sort of alternatives on the market that you can get that are a bit cheaper that do the same job. And the idea behind this is that when you're projecting vocals from your vocalist in this way, that this is sort of absorbing all that energy so that it's not being passed into the room and then reflecting back into the mic. So it gives you a slightly tighter, drier sound. And we have also got a pop shield. This pop shield's about £15. It's pretty standard stuff. And then standard mic stand, and there's the clamp for the filter. In the background we've also got a couple of the sort of broadband absorbers that we show you in one of our tutorials how to make, and that's just sort of high density fiberglass with our fiber wool with a covering on it, and that was basically it. So not a particularly expensive setup, but you get a decent sound. There's not too much room noise. You can maybe notice a wee bit on the really higher, louder notes, but generally a decent enough sound. And I'll let you hear the chorus here, and there's maybe a wee bit noise in between, and the vocals are a bit higher in volume.
Love is a hurricane and washes away the pain, and everything I do for you. Sounds a bit weird. Love is a hurricane and washes away the pain, and everything I do for you. Love is a hurricane, it washes away the pain, and everything I do for you.
So there we go. The vocals sound pretty decent. There's a tiny bit of room noise on the sort of peaks of some of the words, but we're not going to be able to do much about that, and you're not going to notice it really in the track. The first thing that I want to do editing wise is to go into the vocals and remove any of the spaces in between, because as I said, we're when we compress this the vocals up, we're raising that noise floor and it'll start to become noticeable. So that's what I'm going to do in the next video.